Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come in riding high, just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
First carry for the USC man. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Working out of the gun, Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
And over the middle here, Amaro. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargraves, the one who was there defensively.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And we'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. A gain of 6 there on first. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Penny, the first down carry. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
14.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Penny. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now it's Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. That's caught by Penny. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On second down, here's Penny. And he stopped immediately there. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's got Lockett. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Keith Marshall, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Ready, blue, ready.
First down, Winston. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. First and 10 at the 19. Winston. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Bobby Wagner. Coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
He gets them moving forward again with an 8-yard run, but they'll still be left with 14 yards to go on third. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Ready, black 22.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Catanzero's kick is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And out now come the Seahawks. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny, and he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Noah Spence in on the stop.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On second down, Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On third down, Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play on third down for the Seahawks. 49 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Gerald McCoy. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big.
Tempo.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Third and long, it's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And his kick is indeed good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Jameis to throw it. A dump underneath to Jones. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down. From the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. He's going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Gerald McCoy in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And the pressure gets to him again. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now it's Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right. He's got a man complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there just before halftime. 57 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
19.
They go play action with Wilson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got his man. It's Darboh. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And his kick here is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive, go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. So we've reached halftime here.
So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I look, well, all right, never mind.
3rd quarter action now. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
3rd and inches, just turn around and hand it to the big guy and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll run it again with Penny. And he's got some space here. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. A terrific run there by Penny. 52 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in with Marshall. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Keith Marshall with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yeah, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Again, it's Jones. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Again, it's Penny. Room here to run. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A handoff to Penny, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here's a give to Penny. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
14.
To throw on third down, Wilson. And he can't bring it in. Incomplete. He dropped it on the crossing route. Fourth down now.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Over the middle, complete. That's Barton. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action here on first down. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Easy. Push left. 95.
Running left, it's Penny. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Check 50.
Now Rashad Penny. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yeah, and in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Ready.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. Welcome back now here in London. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter.
Ready. Blue ready.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Are we really in the second half here? And this is the first time we've seen Jameis Winston connect with Mike Evans.
Yeah, you know that they missed that in the first half. Up until this point, they've really missed it, haven't they?
I think that's a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now.
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The false start backs him up 5. First and 15.
Ready.
Working out of the gun. Winston. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Yeah, get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10. They keep it with Penny on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Go. 14. Here we go.
Now Wilson on second down. This complete to Lockett. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Now Marshall. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll run with Marshall. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Let's go, 14.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Penny. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Keith Marshall taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and the defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And his throw is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Ready, white 25.
A 2nd down throw for Winston. And his throw here's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
He's got Evans. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
Ready, blue 80.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Ready,
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7.
ready, blue 80.
They'll throw again. Winston. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. The Bucs on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. To the air again with Winston. Over the middle to Evans. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Again, it's Winston. His throw incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jameis again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Bucs on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10.
Ready. White 25.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. This is Marshall. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Come on, let's go.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And here's Marshall. And he'll power his way up near the 25. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. And with very little time left on the play clock, Pete Carroll's going to call timeout, as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Gotta go.
The pitch goes to Penny. And now running right through it. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Check 50, check 50. Punch left. Alert.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if you picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Not your normal call in short yardage, but the toss works very well there. Big people out in front, being physical, and they pick up a first down.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Now a handoff looking right. Ooh, the juke. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. From the right hash, this from 53. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we